You got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, y'all, I'm an alcoholic. I'm still Tori. Oh, I love a podium. I'm kidding. I really hate standing. I talk really fast and I curse a lot. So let's see how this goes, y'all. I'm going to try to slow down. I'm going to try to be PG. My sobriety date is August 16th, 2018. So you're having a picnic on my birthday. Thank you so much. I feel really special and I feel really honored. Which means that if I don't drink for a little over 30-something more days, I'm going to have 8 years, which is crazy. I have a sponsor who knows she's my sponsor. I've worked all 12 steps out of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. I sponsor women and gay men. And I have a home group. It's Duck Island in Finney Ridge, Mondays at 6. We do have rubber ducks. I suggest you come hang out with us. And I'm of service in that home group. A little bit about what it was like for me. I was born also into an alcoholic family. I have a lot of family that are professional chefs by trade. I was raised on the East Coast between Boston and New York and split my time between both cities. I had access to bars and the backs of bars and stock rooms my entire childhood. I made dirty Shirley Temples all through elementary school and no one noticed. My grandmother gave me a Winnie the Pooh jelly jar when I turned 5, and that became my wine glass at the dinner table, so I could learn to pair certain wines with certain foods. Everybody drank and everybody was drunk around me. And I never saw a lot of the negative ramifications of this disease because I was raised in major cities. I didn't see anybody drive drunk. I didn't see anybody throw fists. I didn't see anyone kind of ruin their life. I just saw people cooking food, getting drunk, falling asleep in kind of awkward places. And that was sort of the circle that I knew. And it didn't seem super bad to me as a small kid, right? I have an older brother who has mental and physical disabilities and requires round-the-clock care. So a lot of my childhood was supporting my dad and taking care of his sort of daily needs. He's entirely independent, so he needs a lot of support. And that kept me useful, and it also gave me this chip on my shoulder to say, you know, I've already fed my brother and changed his diaper and put him to sleep, and it's 7 o'clock and I'm 13. Like, I can do whatever I want now. So that was very much how I sort of lived my early teen into like early adulthood years. I was not resentful necessarily, but I thought it gave me a leg up to be able to say, you know, my dad had nothing to really throw at me in terms of trying to parent me or limit me. I had a mom who ended up passing away when I was a kid from terminal cancer, and that was the only relationship I had to the concept of God. I was raised with zero organized religion, so when she passed, we had a memorial for her. 2 women who I could not name in a lineup today came up to me and told me that God needed another angel, and that's why my mom died. And I, at 11 years old, said God should have taken you, and walked away from those women. So that was what I thought God did. It was like God killed my mom, so 11-year-old me was like, God and I are now friends, right? And that also gave me another reason to cop a resentment in living in the world. I drank my entire young adult life. I drank all through high school. I was also a theater kid. We had a lot of drug and alcohol parties. I was a theater kid in New York City. We took it very seriously, you know? Everyone was like bound for Broadway. I got a little too scared to stay in New York. I thought if I remained there, I'd get into harder drugs and make poorer choices than the choices I was already making. So I decided at 18 to move to Vermont because I thought the worst thing you can do in Vermont is smoke too much weed. I'll be fine. And when I got there was no Target and no Sephora, and I was a little bit like, what have I done? But I got a degree in spoken word poetry, which basically just means that I got a degree in alcoholism. I drank all through 4 years of school. I frequently had professors email me when I returned my assignments weeks or months late, telling me that A, it was a really incredible assignment and they wanted me to read it in class, B, they were really concerned about my well-being, and C, if I ever wanted to talk to them about my drinking problem, their door was always open, and I would only ever respond to A. And be like, I would love to read my essay in class. Thank you so much for acknowledging me. And I later on found those professors in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, and they told me that they were really happy I didn't die, which is crazy. But I kept on drinking all through my 20s. I did a really cute, quick geographic. I moved to Argentina without knowing a lick of Spanish or a person in Argentina, and somehow made that work for a year, which is wild. But I decided North America was making my drinking out of control, so I needed to move to South America. Turns out my drinking is still out of control in South America. I did a lot of really unsafe things with myself and those around me. The fact that I'm not dead, or honestly worse than dead, is how I know I have a higher power today. They saved me from a lot of really incredible scrapes that I should not be able to be standing here telling you all about today. I got, again, too scared to stay where I was and doing what I was doing, so I moved back to the States. I got a boyfriend, I bought a yoga mat, I did a juice cleanse, we got a husky. I was like, I am good, and that lasted for 3.5 business days. And then I was back at the bar getting drunk off my ass. And all I knew how to do was get up, go to work, count down to when I could go to the bar, get drunk until it closed, and then somehow find my way home and or sleep in my car and or wake up somewhere that was neither my car nor my home. That was really what my life looked like, truly. And the boyfriend that I had picked up when I was trying to get my life to look better on the outside ended up hitting me, and it got worse, and he ended up breaking my right arm. And when I landed in the ER to get that casted, a really kind nurse asked me if I was okay. Not in like a abuse standpoint, but like in a, are you like drinking too much? Are you doing drugs? Like, are you okay? Kind of a standpoint. And I didn't answer her truthfully. And she gave me a small welcome packet. We have trifolds in Vermont, which is where meetings were located, and I proceeded to crumple that up and throw it away. But I did get out of that relationship, moved into a studio apartment, drank exactly the way that I always had been drinking. Nothing changed. And I did that for exactly 6 weeks. And I was casted, miserable, really truly at kind of my wit's end. I had this really odd experience, August 15th of 2018. I worked corporate retail at the time, and I was closing my retail store and locking my doors on the way to go meet my friend at a bar. And I thought, what if I ordered water tonight? What would happen, And that thought was not my own thought, And it was $3 mojito night, so of course I did not do that. And I ordered 11 mojitos and proceeded to get drunk off my ass per usual. And ended up getting sexually assaulted that night, which was not the first time that had happened to me. But for whatever reason, it was the first time that it felt unacceptable to me, that this was still somehow my life. And I went home to my little studio apartment, and I hit my knees, and I'd never hit my knees in my entire life up until that point. And I said out loud for the first time, God, take me or take the pain. I can't do this anymore. So you can either literally off me right now, or I need this pain to go away, because I am so miserable at 24 years old that I don't understand how I'm going to keep doing this for another 30, 40, 50, 60 years, And I kind of sat there, I stayed on my knees for a second on the floor, and then I got up, and I was like, that was weird, and I changed my clothes, and I went back out, and I went to a different bar, and I kept drinking, but